You see, class, my Lyme disease turned out to be psychosomatic.
Does that mean you're crazy?
No, that means she was faking it.
No, actually, it was a little of both. Sometimes when a disease is in all the magazines and on all the news shows, it's only natural that you think you have
Where's
it.
Mr. Bergstrom?
I don't know. Although I'd sure like to talk to him. He didn't touch my lesson plan. Well, what did he teach you?
That life is worth living.
When I was 16, I asked a neurologist, how is it possible that our brain makes our body sick? And why it would do so? Current research showed that these so-called psychosomatic health complaints cover at least 75% of all known diseases. The neurologist looked at me very seriously and he said, "We will never know. Our brain is far too complex for us to understand." I don't know how you would feel about an inhibiting belief system like this, but for me, even as a 16-year-old, that was unacceptable nonsense. That's why, alongside my holistic health practice, I did extensive research for these last 30 years in order to discover the root cause of psychosomatic health problems. I was looking for the answer to the question, why and how does our brain make our body sick? Why would my brain do that? It felt so illogical to me. You could almost say, has my brain lost its mind?
Has my brain lost its mind?
After 20 years of research, including various failures and disappointments, I discovered through a fortunate combination of circumstances the correct approach. That finally led me to a more and more complete insight into how and why our brain makes its own body ill by creating psychosomatic diseases. It turned out that this discovery resulted in a number of other remarkable discoveries. From the start, I realized that if the insight I gained could not offer me any solution to cure the causes of psychosomatic diseases, they would be of very little use to me. So my next step was to use these insights to develop a method that could cure or remove the root cause of psychosomatic health complaints. After another 5 years of additional research, an effective technique was born, and I called it progressive mental alignment, or abbreviated to PMA. During this research, I also discovered something else of great value. It turns out that our thought patterns, our decisions, actions, and behavior are basically determined by exactly the same mechanism as the one that causes psychosomatic diseases. Our thought patterns, decisions, and actions are the driving force of our behavior.
Our thought patterns, decisions, and actions are the driving force of our behavior,
which in turn determines the quality of our relationships and success in life. The PMA technique showed that everything could be traced back to how our subconscious mind encodes sensory data. So, how it assigns a specific code to everything you see, hear, smell, and taste and feel. It became clear that it's even more important what happens in our brain when we are placed under high emotional pressure.
it became clear that it's even more important what happens in our brain when we are placed under high emotional pressure.
And how this pressure can cause something to go terribly wrong with the coding process. If that happens, it results in a kind of neurophysiological short-circuiting in our brain. I call these short circuits bad clusters. It turns out we all have bad clusters. Not only are they the cause of psychosomatic illnesses, they also have an unprecedented negative influence on our belief systems, thought patterns, and behavior. The application of PMA technique has repeatedly confirmed that psychosomatic illnesses, negative belief systems, and harmful behavior originate from exactly the same subconscious root cause.
We're unbalanced! It's not fair! I'd like to call to order this secret conclave of America's media empires. We're here to come up with the next phony baloney crisis to put Americans back where they belong, in dark rooms glued to their televisions, too terrified to skip the commercials.
Well, I think...
NBC, you are here to listen and not speak. I think we should go with a good old-fashioned public health scare.
A new disease. No one's immune. It's like the summer of the shark, except instead of a shark, it's an epidemic. And instead of summer, it's all the time.
That is...
Now, I hate to be the guy who derails what everybody else loves.
He loves being that guy.
But, Janice, we do have standards. This can't be a made-up disease. The only moral thing to do is release a deadly virus into the general public.
We do have something we've been holding on to, but it hasn't been tested. Get over here, NBC.
Well, we certainly believe in testing, but Wow. Oh, yeah.
So, we've got our deadly disease. Now, we just have to blame it on something that's in every household, something that people are a little bit afraid of already.
Are you wearing the mask because you're concerned about the virus?
Yeah.
People must be getting really worried.
People are already very worried, so they cannot get very worried anymore.
Please do something for us. They are just crying all the day. This has to be changed like every 4 hours.
现在情况特殊，我希望大家不要出门，不要聚会，不要聚餐。
That means then our thoughts could make us sick.
This was a nocebo. The belief that the air was making them sick spread from mind to mind.
可能是因为加上这个恐慌的原因。
If you think you'll get sick, you're more likely to get sick.
The negative thinking can actually cause every illness and disease just from thought.
We've all been here before. The fire alarm goes off and you ask yourself, is this a drill or is there really a fire? That is currently what the world is trying to work out.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. We begin with news about the new coronavirus outbreak. Good evening and thanks for joining us. We are continuing to monitor the outbreak of the mysterious new coronavirus.
The coronavirus infecting more people in days than SARS did over months.
Breaking news tonight, the Americans evacuated from the coronavirus zone.
Now the first death from the new coronavirus.
The death toll climbs and the number of coronavirus cases explodes.
We've all been here before. We've all been here before.
Anthrax.
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 Anthrax. Anthrax. Anthrax. Anthrax. Anthrax. Anthrax. Anthrax. Anthrax. Anthrax.
Anthrax.
Anthrax.
Anthrax.
Anthrax.
Anthrax.
Anthrax. Anthrax. Anthrax. Anthrax. Anthrax.
Anthrax.
Anthrax. Anthrax.
Anthrax bacterium.
Anthrax bacterium.
Anthrax investigation. Anthrax investigation.
Anthrax exposure.
Anthrax exposure.
Anthrax test.
Anthrax tests with anthrax scares.
Anthrax scares.
Anthrax spores.
Anthrax spores.
Anthrax strains.
Anthrax strains. Anthrax hoax.
Anthrax hoaxes.
Anthrax attack.
Anthrax attacks.
Cases of anthrax.
And how worried are you? Is this people's worst fears? Is it a pandemic? Is it something that you think is going to spread, you know, like Ebola did or in its own location all those years ago? You know, like Ebola did.
We've all been here before. We've all been here before.
You know, like Ebola did.
Ebola. Ebola.
Ebola.
Ebola. Ebola.
Ebola.
Ebola.
Ebola.
Ebola.
Ebola.
Ebola. Ebola. Ebola. Ebola. Ebola.
Ebola.
Ebola.
Ebola.
Ebola. Ebola. Ebola.
Ebola. Ebola.
Ebola.
Ebola.
Ebola.
As you know, this Ebola strain has been much more virulent.
Ebola strain. Ebola strains. Ebola strains.
The Ebola strain.
Ebola strain.
Ebola strain.
What causes Ebola?
Growing Ebola fear spreads around the country.
There are fears the outbreak will continue to spread.
Americans panicked over a possible Ebola outbreak.
Fear and panic over a possible Ebola outbreak. Ebola outbreak. Growing fears about Ebola.
Tested for Ebola.
Tested for Ebola.
Tested for Ebola.
Tested for Ebola.
Is there any cure for Ebola?
You know, like Ebola did.
Ebola vaccine.
Forget the conspiracy. Listen to our government agencies. These guys are telling the truth. You know, there's no conspiracy here, folks. Just get your damn vaccine.
Cure for Ebola.
Die from Ebola.
Cure for Ebola.
Die from Ebola.
Cure for Ebola.
The coronavirus.
A case of coronavirus.
The coronavirus.
So the deadly coronavirus.
Cases of coronavirus.
Mysterious new coronavirus.
Coronavirus.
New coronavirus extends beyond the country's border.
The novel coronavirus.
Fast-spreading Wuhan coronavirus.
Of novel coronavirus.
With the coronavirus.
Breaking news on the coronavirus. Not too long ago, the CDC confirmed the 15th case of the virus here in the United States.
We've all been here before. We've all been here before.
The World Health Organization declaring a global health emergency.
The Zika virus.
This as officials in Florida race around the clock to try and stop the spread of the virus.
The Zika virus continues to be a problem.
The Summer Olympics will open later this year in Brazil, a country that is now ground zero for the Zika virus.
We've all been here before. We've all been here before.
Inhaled anthrax.
Inhaled anthrax.
Inhalation anthrax.
Inhalation anthrax.
Inhalation anthrax.
Inhalation anthrax.
Anthrax in the mail.
Anthrax through the mail.
Anthrax tainted letters.
Anthrax tainted letters.
Anthrax laced letters.
Anthrax laced lettered. Anthrax letter. Anthrax letters.
Anthrax letters.
Anthrax letters.
Presence of anthrax. No presence of anthrax.
Positive for anthrax. Negative for anthrax.
Negative for anthrax.
Positive for anthrax.
Also has anthrax.
But not anthrax.
I don't have anthrax.
He does not have anthrax.
No anthrax.
Crop dusted Omaha with anthrax. Mass spreading of anthrax.
Mutant anthrax.
Deadly anthrax.
Kill any anthrax
On the novel coronavirus.